Hello, it's Brendan from techbuzzireland. Today we have the Boom ZYGO, the ultimate hub for seamless meetings connectivity. You're on your way to better, simpler meetings, it says at the moment. Box standard enough there at the moment. This is the typical type logo that they normally have in most of the products. Most people would have seen us before, would have noticed we've done a variety of the Boom products in the past. Might be more familiar with the Boom Mini, Mezzo, and all in one. And I suppose, what is the point of all these particular parts, putting them out of the way? And they're actually more got to do with your, once you've connected up there, but this is actually more the docking station. So how do you connect? As with modern things, we're getting more connected, we're getting more monitors connected, and we're drawing more power, and we've found more things connected, example, and you very quickly run out of USB ports, HDMI ports on your laptop. And this is a docking station. Years ago, many people will remember you had one laptop, you had a docking station, you put it down on the laptop onto the docking station. Once you upgrade the laptop, that docking station went in the bin because it couldn't be used anymore. This particular one there comes with a USB-C, and I'll give you a bit of a demo in a few moments with it. And this is what you're actually getting with it. You do get a power supply with it as well, and that's just normally plugging in. You get two HDMI cables. I have to say the HDMI cables are quite strong, and they do feel solid, and there's labels on them, and also just giving us information on the cables. So two different cables which can be plugged in directly into it. I'll go to it. In essence, what are you really getting here at the moment is details on the back, and I'll just come to the ports, and you've got the details. Typically, most people, what you do is you'd have that in the front of you, looking out towards yourself, and you'd plug your phone USB-C into here, and you've got an audio jack and a mic jack if you wanted to plug it in here, and it's got the lights, and I'll plug it in. More importantly, a Swiss Army knife of connectability here at the moment. So what you're really talking about, the DC power goes in here. You've got a USB-C cable out of here, goes directly into your laptop. Noting this is 96 watts. To put that in perspective, my own private laptop charger may not be actually seen. It'll actually, when you see it here, it's 65 watts. So this is very clear to say that that one at 96, and particular one there at the moment, well, you might see in the box itself, it's got another 20 watt here, so it's just the optional there. So that 96 means that actually it'll power charge your laptop without any problems whatsoever. Depending on the models you have there at the moment, you shouldn't have any problems there. And that's a USB going directly to it. When you're coming down your normal HDMI port, we're all familiar with our HDMI port, for example, we just connect in, and then we've got display links ports. The top ports here at the moment, I was going to say is legacy ports. Typically most of us won't have used it unless you've got really old equipment, but it's there, etc. You've got a gigabit port here at the moment, and you've got your normal 4D USB 5G ports there at the moment, and that's your power. On the back you've got your power button, and nothing unusual there, and as I mentioned, you've got the lights coming on, and you've got your speaker and your mic, and that gives you an idea. I suppose in essence, what are you going to be doing there? So you can connect three specific laptops, for example, three monitors directly onto the unit itself, and it avoids all the clutter, so you have all the cables coming through. So that's quite good. You've got the legacy port, three of these DPIs. I don't really use them myself. You've got a USB-C port, as I mentioned, and connect your phone, connecting additional ports there at the moment, so you can power them there on that particular one there. You'd have 1 gigabyte LAN connection there, which I mentioned there. The audio jack is 1.3.5, and speakers there at the moment. So in essence, in this particular unit, you've got everything that you actually need, and I will set it up in a few moments. Once it's normally plugged in, and this is typically what you'll normally see from the front, because most people are connected up, put the word in. The one thing I will stress, when I set it up, I had a few issues, and I'll explain to detail. So you've got HDMI 1, HDMI, and there's two more display links. If you go to the manual itself, let's get started. It's got all the information here, fairly limited manual, doesn't have too much information. Tells all the features. Let's get started. But ensure the laptop or computer has the correct display link driver installed prior to the QR code below. Okay, I'll share a link with it in the instructions on the documentation. But when I connected it up, everything worked very well. HDMI straight into the laptop, for example. USB-C into the laptop, HDMI directly into a monitor. When I plug a second monitor in, it did not work, nor the third. I had to go back, and when I swapped them around, put that into there to get it to work. So the only port in my particular laptop only worked with the HDMI 1. This was tried on two reasonably couple of years old laptops to completely two different brands. It did not work. I had to download and upload the drivers. So if you ever get a problem here, once the drivers were updated, it's working perfect. Okay, so there's no issues there, but just something to be very conscious. It is plug and play. So once I plugged one laptop in, I update the drivers, it works straight away. The trick here is that you can swap and change. I'll just connect it up to give you more details. We've now set this up connections. And why it might look there's lots of cables going around here at the moment is there. All I've really done is I put the power cable in the bottom here. This is the USB-C coming out, and there's two HDMI cables. So what I mentioned earlier on about scanning the QR code, just to make sure, download the drivers on the laptop to make sure. Two cables. I could plug another USB HDMI cable in here, and I obviously have the other ports, but just for simplicity there at the moment is two HDMI cables in here. This particular cable, USB key, is the key. So that's coming straight out directly into my USB-C laptop. It's also charging my laptop with 96 watts of power. So it's loads of power to do that. The monitors are getting their own power because HDMI doesn't carry any power. So in essence, it's very simple. So when I want to walk away, all I have to do is from the laptop is plug out my USB C cable and walk away, and it works. When I come back in again, I just plug it in, the USB-C cable plugs in, and all the monitors are connected. These are slightly smaller monitors. It doesn't matter what brand of monitors you're actually using, so you can use any of them there at the moment. On the front, it shows little lights, and you could plug a microphone in, you could connect your video conferencing cameras, for example, and you can connect the additional equipment, and you could charge your phone, for example, or you can use the other part here as well. And you've got, and that's basically it. In terms of exciting there, it's not really an exciting tool because all it does is it just sits there and connectability. But that's really key because with working from home and quickly traveling around, etc. there at the moment, you don't want anything complicated connecting a laptop. So all you want to do is plug and play. Once you've the drivers updated on the laptop, just plug this in here at the moment and if it comes to 5 o'clock, half 5, you can just turn the power off and leave it there. Or you can have the power swatch killed. It is fast. Once the drivers are updated, it just works. So in theory, you throw that under a desk. It does come with a bracket so that you can actually put it onto the beginning of a desk there as well. So it's quite handy. You can mount it under a desk. Typically, these particular cables are actually hidden because you don't really look at them, and only for the purpose of showing this is showing the background. For the front is what you normally be seeing there at the moment. It's actually quite light, and we've done a lot of the Boom products before. Seems to be very reliable, very good. Really impressive. There's actually a 3-year warranty with this particular unit there, and you can extend it to 5 years. That's really, really impressive because it's nice, and probably there's no really moving parts because once this is in theory set up and you have the drivers that you can update the software, that's kind of key. My own personal thing I like the most about it is it doesn't matter what laptop I'm using. So if I get a brand new laptop in the morning, USB-C is the way we're going there at the moment. It does work out with the main brands. It does work out the main system. So if you have an Apple, for example, or you have something else, different things, possibly update some drivers, etc. But you have the options of kind of going there. And that's probably really key, that you have the options to future-proofing it there at the moment on that. And thank you for watching. And that's the Boom ZYGO, ultimate hub for seamless meetings, connecting Boom. Thank you for watching Tech Buzz Ireland.